Okay, by popular request, which is to say, a request, I'm going to do a little tutorial. So I have another account that I don't play very much on my other email address. As you can see, I have very few of the decks unlocked. But I'm going to go through a couple games on the Innkeeper, and then maybe I'll play one or two against some opponents at really low rank. It's the end of the season. The season goes from the first of the month to the end of the month, so the competition is really kind of crap at this point. Everyone has moved up, which means that you're either going to get really easy games or really hard games, even at this low rank. But we'll do what we can. So I'm going to start. I don't even have the Hunter unlocked, so I'm going to beat the Hunter with my Fury Warrior and see what we can do with the Hunter. Right now, the easiest decks to play are what we call Zoo, which are decks that have a lot of low-cost minions that you can play quickly and go right for the face, which going for the face means to attack your hero's portrait. They don't take a lot of sophistication, so they're easy, but they're still powerful. So that's probably what we're going to have you going with at first. The other types of decks require a little bit more expertise and some specialized cards. So the first phase, of course, is Mulligan. You generally want to get at least something you can play on turn 2, and maybe something on turn 3. So you really want minions as opposed to spells, so I don't really want Heroic Strike. I could use this later, but I want to increase my chances of getting a 2-drop. Now when I say drop, that means the cost of the minion. So 2-drop is 2 mana, 3-drop is 3 mana. So I'll keep the Wolf Rider. That will be good for turn 3. I got an Axe for turn 2. And a Cleave spell hits 2 enemies. So I can't do anything on turn 1. Let's see what he does. He does nothing. So there's no point in playing the Axe when there's nothing there. You really want to save your weapons, if you're a weapon class, hunters are, for minions as opposed to the face. There are reasons to go to the face, but generally you want to use them to kill minions. He didn't play anything. This is really not a good minion, but at this level, since it's playable, we'll go with that. In general, it's better to use a minion than to play your hero power. That's just a rule of thumb. If you have a choice between putting out a minion and putting out a hero power, you want to use your minion if at all possible, unless putting out the minion gets you no advantage. So here again, he used a spell to clear that, but now he has no board presence. So this minion is tricky to use. It has charge, which means it goes right into the face, but it's only got 1 health, so it's very easy to kill. So I'm not expecting it to live very long. But I get a cheap 3 damage on him, and he has no immediate reprisal. Well, he's got another arcane shot. So. But you can only have 2 of those. You can only have 2 of each card except for legendaries. You can only have 1 legendary piece. So that's all of his arcane shots. Fortunately, we have a pretty good response to that. We can just throw out our 4-drop Tazdingo. That's not a good minion to play in response. It doesn't really trade well. Now when we use the word trade, trading means when one minion kills another minion, or attacks another minion, but mostly kills. Something trades well, something trades evenly if the minion kills the other minion and both minions die. Something trades well if you can attack a minion, your minion survives, and the other minion dies. It trades poorly if, like as in this case, neither minion dies, or if your minion dies and the other minion survives. So obviously you want to try and go for good trades, if at all possible. In this case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my Axe, And I'm also going to play Upgrade, which gives me a 1 durability, 1 attack bump. So I can just immediately kill the Patriarch without having to kill my troll. And then I'll go to the face. And since I have 2 mana left and nothing really I can do, now I can use my hero power. The warrior's hero power is to get some armor, which is equivalent to life, really. They just wanted to make it different from the priests. And you can only apply it to yourself. The priest can heal their minions. Alright, so that's not really scary. It can't kill this on 1 turn. So I'm probably going to put the bear and the spider. Now, when you're playing a board, this is the AI, and the AI is not very sophisticated, but when you're playing players, you want to be careful not to overload the board, because they have area of attack spells that can clean you out. And you also want to be wary of not having any response cards in the deck. So I put 2 cards out here, which means I only have 2 cards in response here. He's got 4. So if he can clear these and not have to empty his hand to do it, he's in a better position than I am. Also, I can't kill this. I mean, I guess I can, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to kill the turtle. And the reason why I do that is I want control of the board. To have control of the board means you have minions on your side and he has none. Or at the very least, you have minions on your side that he can't get through to get to your face. So you have taunts here that are blocking him. So I have really good board control right now. So I'm not worried that I don't have cards in reserve. I can even go, if he doesn't put anything good, if he doesn't put anything good down next turn, I don't even have to play anything. So this is a card that fishes for other cards. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to play anything, because this minion trades evenly with the bear. They'll both die. I'm going to save my charge on my axe. I'm going to go for the face with this. I could do this trade myself, but then I would miss out on 3 damage to the hunter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 3 damage to the face with the bear and my spider, thinking he can't get to me without going through the bear. So as long as he has no way of killing the bear, he'll have to run this into this, and they'll kill it. If he gets rid of the bear somehow, then I might have to use my axe on it next turn because it's a threat. And since I'm not going to do anything else, I'm just going to armor up and end turn. Now, usually well, that's sad for me, isn't it? Usually you want to try and use all of your mana every turn, if at all possible, without emptying your hand out. The best mana moves are, again, in general, using 1 minion that uses all the mana, or 2 minions that use half mana. If you have to play like 6 minions from your hand and use all your mana, that's probably not the best move, unless you're at the end of the game and you're not worried about him clearing your board and then launching a counterattack. So, you see here, instead of going for my face, he killed one of my spiders. That was actually not the correct move, because he missed out on 5 damage to my face. And I'm just going to finish him off there. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill that guy, just so he has nothing. And then I'm going to play this guy as a charger, and I'm going to play this guy to protect him. And see what he can do. That's not super strong. So I probably won't even attack his minions next turn. I'll probably just go to the face, because I'm not really feeling very threatened. But I can actually clean out some of this to make it less less likely he can get to the 4-2, which is the big, strong minion that's hitting him to the face. So I think probably what I will do is I will actually kill this minion with my Testingo. And then I will play my axe to kill this 2-3. Now I can play Cleave, which takes care of the other two. Hit him to the face, armor up, and I'm not going to play this. I want to keep it in reserve just in case he manages to clean out those two. Though it seems unlikely because he only has 2 cards in his hand and he's down to 12 health. That's not going to do it. See, that was also a mistake. He should have played the boar, put the Houndsmaster on the boar, and then he could have... He wouldn't have been able to kill this, but he would have been able to take 3 damage away instead of just 1. Do I have lethal? So when people say lethal, they mean do they have enough damage to go right for the face and kill him. So I have 4, 10, not quite enough. But I have this spell here that gives me +2 attack. And I'm going to be fancy about it. I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to give that charge. And now I have much more than I need. Alright. So I opened up the hunter. Now let's build a deck. Where's the hunter? I guess I have to build one. Let's build a deck with some hunter basic cards. Oh, I do have some more unlocked. I just never built decks for them. Okay. Good. I probably should have checked here first. Alright, so we don't have a lot. So we're just starting, so we'll just stick 2 of those. Yeah. Explosive Trap, Multi-Shot, Timberwolves, Tracking, whatever, Misdirection. Alright, so that gives us 12. Let's throw some other stuff in there. Hunters work best with beasts. Now, I'm not going to use anything out of Nax because you don't have Nax unlocked yet. So I'm going to use Bloodfin Raptors. I'm going to use Crocolisks, a couple Owls, maybe a couple Grizzlies. I'm going with low-level minions on purpose because I want... This is a really good minion, really good. Because it buffs your other minions, gives them a 1-1. That means 1 health and 1 attack. Anyway, I'm going for low-cost stuff to try and simulate what a rush deck would look like. Now, I don't have all the tools I need for a real rush deck, but I think we're close. Yetis are super awesome. Testingo, love the Testingo. These guys are great with hunters if you can pair them up with the Houndmaster. Because they have 7 health, you throw a 2/2 on it, that puts them up to a 4/9, makes them really difficult to get through. So I think I'm actually going to throw 1. What 1 do I have now? Raging Warrior. We'll get rid of that. Throw 2 of those in there. I probably have some other stuff. Stormwind Champion. I'm actually going to take out maybe the Grizzlies and put 2 of him in. He's good because he's big and beefy, so he's hard to get through. And he's not just a cast-on buffer, he's a buffing aura. So every minion you play before him and after him gets the buff as long as he survives. So let's see what we can do with this. I think you should have access to, if not everything in here, most everything. Well, misdirections are rare. Actually, it's a crappy secret. I'm going to get rid of it and put something else in. Explosive trap, that's a common, but not standard. Everything else might be standard. That's a common. Alright, let's... I'm going to put an Ardent Squire in there, just so I have a turn 1 move occasionally. I don't like tracking either, but... Nope, I'm getting rid of those. Don't like them. Maybe I'll put an ooze in. Oozes destroy weapons, so they can be handy. And maybe... That's Jeffrey. Maybe this guy. Novice Engineer. Okay. Oh, damn it. I want to name the deck, and we'll call this... Tutorial. Alright. Let me get my phone and see what your husband wants. No dessert for a month. That is correct. Alright. Let's go back into the Innkeeper and get some more basic cards. We'll play... I wish I could just hit the random button, but... Actually, let's see real quick what we still need. I might as well... Druid. Druid and Warlock. Wait, no, I got that, so I must have them all. So I've unlocked everybody. Okay, fine. So it doesn't matter what I play. Alright, so we'll play... I don't know... Shaman. Thrall. Alright, so the usual rules apply. We want to try and get some low-level minions. This is a low-level minion, but it's got a very specific battle cry. It's a silence, which is very valuable. We don't want to play this on turn 2 just as a body. I think we can find something better than that. This is great because we have a turn 1 move by putting the Ardent Squire in. Good. Alright, so we get the Bloodfed Raptor, so we get a 1 and a 2. Now when you're playing a hunter, especially when you're playing a rush hunter, your objective is to get your stuff out and pepper him down, making use of your hero power as much as you can. You're really not trying to trade your minions with him. You want them to do all the trading because your hero power does so much damage. 2 doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is. Oh, I have 2, let's see, 2, 3. But it whittles them down so quickly that oftentimes they have to sort of scramble to get their shit back together before you put them down below 15, which is a real danger zone area. So I'm going to do that, and I'm probably just going to play the Crocolisk. That is a better board position than using the hero power. It's conceivable, he used his coin there, which I think was stupid for a hero power move, but it's conceivable he can clear one of the minions. As you see, he put his Rock Raider up. So if I had not used my hero power, if I had just played the Crocolisk, I'd have nothing and he'd have an admittedly weak totem. So playing both of those minions was a good idea. Now, what do I want to do here? I can play the Yeti. That's probably the best move. But I am going for... Now, since I'm trying to teach you Rush, what I'm actually going to do is get rid of his totem and then play the raid leader. Well, that kind of stinks. So, taunts are a bit of an annoyance when you're trying to rush them down. You actually don't see Singe and Shieldmaster too much of the latter, because people will only generally put in the heavier taunts. Sometimes you see them, but that makes it easy for rushers to play. Like, a rushing deck fails against early taunts. I think I'm just going to... Alright, so I traded that in because if I just did nothing, he's gonna play his, probably gonna play his Shieldmaster into something. And since this thing is giving a buff, the better move for him would be to kill the buffer, because then the Crocolisk would only hit him for 2, and he'd be able to survive by killing 2 of my minions. So by attacking with the Crocolisk, if he goes for my buffer minion, he's going to die. So this has now become a good trade. I'm going to play that for some other board control. I'm going to do that. I could make this trade for him. What I want to do... Yeah. Let's get rid of it. It's just safer if there's nothing out there. Okay, so that's a 5-4. I'm definitely going to play this on this guy. That brings him up to a 5-4 also, which of course trades evenly with the hunter, but this also gives me another body out there. So I'm going to do that. Kill the taunt. And once again pepper him with my hero power. And suddenly he's at 17, I'm at 30, and we have slight but not insignificant board control. Now he put Wind Fury in that guy, which means he can attack twice every turn. Question is, do I care? And I don't think that I do. Because it's only hitting 2, which means if he hit me twice to the face, which would only hit me for 4. If he hits me once and then hits this guy, he dies, and this guy survives. And if he tries to go this guy first, he dies without even getting the advantage of the Wind Fury. So playing Wind Fury was a total mistake on this thing, but it's the AI. The AI doesn't know what the hell it's doing. So I'm going to put my Yeti out here for another big body. And I'm not going to play this because he can kill that with his dude pretty easily. I'm just going to leave these 2 in reserve, and then I will attack with that. So he's down to 11. Now I'm going for the kill. This would ordinarily concern me, because now he's got a 7 on the board, but I don't really care. So I have 4, 8, 9, 10. At this point, I can do this. It's unlikely he'll be able to survive another turn. He can hit me full in the face with these things, and I would still kill him next turn. I'm going to multi-shot anyway. And then, I don't know, whatever. So, he's got nothing. He loses. Even if that was a taunt totem, I would still beat him. Well, if that was a taunt totem, and he killed this thing, that would stink. Alright, well, now I'm suddenly annoyed. Not really, because I still have my hero power, but that was a series of plays that could have stymied me if he was a little bit higher in health. It's especially dangerous because I can't clear it even if I put everything else out here, and he would hit me for 12 next turn. But he loses. And that's where silence comes in handy, because silence gets rid of everything. Gets rid of the taunt, gets rid of the Wind Fury, the whole shamir. Animal Companion. Alright, we gotta go back and get those, because that's a irreplaceable card to have in a hunter deck. Alright, so they are 3 mana, so we will get rid of... Get rid of the raid leaders? I don't think so. I'll actually get rid of the Novice Engineer and maybe 1 Snapjaw. And we'll put 2 of those in. Okie doke. Let's try again. This time we'll play Rouge. Okie doke.
Let the hunt begin.
Explosive Trap, it's a really good card, but we don't want it this early. I'm going to keep the Shattered Sun for a turn 3 play. We don't have a turn 1 or 2 at the moment, so unless we get something on the draw here, we do not. We're just going to skip. I could have played Arcane Shot to her face, but at this early stage of the game, we gained nothing. So this is good. If we didn't get the Crocodilus, we could have played our Hero Power right to the face, but it's always better, not always, but it's usually better to play a minion than it is to play your Hero Power. And she has a hard time clearing this early. This isn't a good example because she happened to get Deadly Poison. But okay, now here's the trick. I can just put this out and she'll just kill it. I can put this out without buffing anything and she'll just kill it. But if I can put them out together, that makes a very formidable board. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to Hero Power, end my turn, knowing that next turn I will play this Engine's Shieldmaster, which she will be able to... Oh, well, she went to the face with everything, so that's sad for her. But I'm going to put out my Senjin Shieldmaster, which she now can't remove. And then next turn, I'm going to play the Shattered Sun, Crocolisk. Now, aren't you clever? Or am I? I could play the... So I got this, the Senjin sent back to me, and I have this to get rid of that. So now I think maybe instead I will do this. And then next turn, so that this does not trade. That's a bad trade. And that's even worse. So this is a very good trade. I think what I'm going to do... Now, if I play the Senjin... No. I think I'm going to play the Crocolisk, and then I'm going to buff it.
Cleanse the Sunwell.
And then I'm going to go once... no. Nah. I was going to play this too. She could just shiv it. And also, it's a little early for you to be worrying about the meta. which is to say the way the game is being played by real players right now. But it is in general. Ew. Well, that's annoying. But at least I got both our saps done. It is in general a good idea to not put more than 3 minions out at a time unless you're absolutely sure what they're doing, because there's a card in the game called the Mind Control Tech, which can only be used if there's 4 or more minions on our side and it steals one. And you don't want it to steal the wrong minion at the wrong time. So, what I'm going to do here, these two guys are down at 2 health. They're very vulnerable to multi-shot. It's definitely what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to play the Crocolisk again and just kill those two. And so you can see, we don't have great board position, but
I hope you like my invention.
he has 1 card, or she, well now 2, and 2 minions on the board. The AI is getting very lucky, however, with their draws, but that's the way the ball bounces. So he has a potential to do 3, 6, 7. This is a great time to play our Houndsmaster combo. So even if he runs all 3 of his things into it, or he could just assassinate. You know, you're really not helping my tutorial. But at least he's gotten rid of both his deadly poisons. Assassinate. Play you. What do we get? We get the worst one of the 3. But it actually trades really well with the Bloodfin Raptor. And I think, what the hell?
I've got a huge gun.
I didn't like you. Alright. Sinjin. We'll play this. Neither of these minions trade particularly well, but he can hit it with his sword and then trade this into it, though he will take a bunch of damage from it. This is a closer game than I would have liked, but I still think we're going to pull it out. Just like at the movie theater. Although, he's done a really good job clearing my board. And I don't even think I have... Well, I have Explosive Trap. But he's only down to 6. I don't really have anything I can silence here. At this point, I'm just throwing stuff at him. Now he's down to 1 health. That's, I mean, that was a mistake. If you extracted that board position and put 2 players on the other side of it, I would almost certainly have lost. But because it's the AI, they do stupid things like that. So, whatever. Starving Buzzard. Alright, well, I'm going to play a real game, and I'm probably going to lose pretty badly. But it's more instructive to see it played against real players. Gina. Tony the Tiger.
You asked for it.
Alrighty.
Let the hunt begin.
So, particularly thrilled with any of these three. That I can keep. Alright, so this is actually really good. This is a really good curve. And I have the coin. When I say curve, the curve means the cards you play in the order that you play them. So you get 1 mana per turn added onto your collection, right? So if you can play a 1, then a 2, then a 3, then a 4, you're playing on curve. And that is a really good strategy.
The light protects me.
This is a great minion to play against mages. They generally want to kill it. So one health minions die easily to their hero power. It's a really good play, but because this has got the shield, she plays the 1 mana on this, and it just dies, or doesn't kill it. See, now I can actually...
Greetings, traveler.
I will play... See, well, it's a little tricky. No, it's not. I'm going to play... I could actually coin out Animal Companion. So the trick here is she got a 2-for-1 with that minion. I'm going to kill this one. My guy survives, but they trade evenly with this thing. And she has her hero power. If I play this and kill this, she'll ignore this guy and run this guy into it and hero power into it to kill it off, if she's got nothing better to play. And I don't really want that to happen. I think what I'm actually going to do is... I don't have any other turn 3 plays, but no, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to put out the Animal Companion.
I fight.
That really wasn't the one I want. Huffer is generally considered to be the best one because it's a 4 damage minion with charge. But in this case, she can kill it by running her dude into it and hero power. I did get the 4 damage onto it, so that's okay. That's interesting. She can't kill Huffer. This is actually the best move she can make from my perspective because I'm going to multi-shot them. No, I'm not. I don't have 4 mana. Sheet. Well, then I guess it just sucks to be me sometimes. So, I have to do that. Yeah, it's not great. She gets a cheaper minion next turn. I can play multi-shot next turn. We have slight board control, but she has the tempo. But she's not going for board control, which I think plays into our favor, because instead of doing this, no, either way, either way I lose this thing, so I think if we do this, we trade away that.
I fight.
Yeah, I think that was better, because this way we get another big body on the board. Both taunts are gone. She has to run her minion into that and hero power it to kill it, which is good for us because that means she only has 3 mana this turn to spend. She may not. She may choose to play another 5 mana minion, like the bodyguard. Or she polymorph it. That kind of stinks too, but that's okay. So, what do I want to do? I think if I play the taunt, it's not really good mana. I don't know. 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 I don't I could play the raid leader, make them 2/2/1s, kill the pint-sized summoner. I could open this up also, but then they just run themselves into that. So I think I'm not going to open this. And by open, I mean it's got a death rattle that summons 2 new things. So we think about it like an egg that opens up and has new things in it. So I think what I'm going to do is this, hero power, and then use my spider, or my sheep, to kill that.
Job done.
And we'll do that. So he needs to get rid of my raid leader, but he's not gonna because I don't know why. Because those 2 things are asleep once the egg opens, so they don't really help him this turn. He could have Frostbolt or something to kill that. Secret. Secret. So when you play against secrets, obviously you don't know what it is. You got to check. You don't want to check first by throwing out a big minion and seeing if it's the minion duplicating secret, because then you have to deal with it. So I've got 2 multi-shots in my hand and no big threats on the board. I think the first thing I'm going to do is see if it's counterspell by playing multi-shot. It's not counterspell. Then I'm going to check for mirror entity by playing a minion, and it is. And it's good that I did that. If my instinct was to hit her first, then I would have no way to deal with that.
It is very hard.
But now I've cleared it, and we have good board position. We have good cards in our hand, so I can play cheaper taunt, or I can play the big expensive Stormwind Champion. She got a bunch of cards in her hand, but it costs her a lot of mana to do it. That is a good delay tactic, kinda. It's actually not considered to be a very good move. But at this stage, you don't have a whole lot to work with. I'm just going to clear it with multi-shot. There's no point in saving it. And I think I'm going to play... Or actually, no. Now that I think about it, that's not what I'm going to do. And the reason is... this is going to die no matter what. So I might as well use it to kill one of these. Because she's just going to shoot it with her damn hero power. So I think I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to kill the other one with an arcane shot. Play my Shield Master and hero power. So we're in pretty good position. If she uses the hero power to kill the 3/1, and she's probably going to do it. Oh, doesn't even want to try. Alright, well... that's the way it goes sometimes. It can be a little frustrating early on, I will admit. Starving Buzzard. You also get more experience, and hence your basic cards faster if you play players than if you play the Innkeeper. I actually have 105 gold. I'm going to best for new players. Oh, no, you can suck it. I want some Goblin cards. Okay. These two are super good in all decks, but I'm not going to put them in because that would not teach you how to play with what you've got. So we're going to try another one. I didn't even look to see what quests we had. We had Beatdown, and we got Mage Hunter, that's good. Maybe another Hunter. No, Paladin Priest. Alright, that's fine. So we're at Leper Gnome rank. This video is already 45 minutes, so maybe we'll play one more game and then call it, because Jeff likes to watch me for 2 hours, but perhaps you might not.
Rexa versus Jane.
You asked for it.
Let the hunt begin.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, this is too specific to... I wonder if it's the same guy. This is too specific to use as a just standard 2-drop. And we've got this. The Swamp Ooze is useless against mages. They do not have weapons, so it's just fine as a normal 2-drop minion. We've got 3 with our animal companion, so let's see if we can't get maybe the Argent Squire. Nope, but this is good too, because if she can't do anything to kill this, we'll buff it on turn 3, and then it becomes really hard to kill. This used to be a good tactic for rushy mages. You try and slam out some early damage. But hunters and warlocks are just too fast for that now. So they can't really use that same tactic anymore. Which is not to say that they don't have their own BS.
You like my invention?
Alright. I think... The problem here is that if I put this out, she can just trade into it and even the board up. I think what I want to do is coin out my companion. I hope I get Misha. I did not get Misha, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But then, of course, this trades supremely well with this, and she can't kill it with just what she has on the board. So if she wants to remove this thing, she needs to have something in her hand, like a Frostbolt. Frostbolt's the only thing she'd really be able to use. I mean, she could use Flame Cannon if she has it, but that's a Goblin card. Her Croc. So she's going right foe the face. Okay. I think this turn I'm going to play
We must cleanse
this. And I am going for board control, so I'm going to kill her Croc. Let's see what she does. The best move for her would be to run this into this. She's not gonna. She's gonna kill the buffing minion. I understand why. Yeah, that's a terrible move. You're gonna clear the board. You really can't leave this guy alone. She might have another Arcane Missiles. Alright. Well, that's sad for her, because that thing is just gonna die. She can hero power to kill it, but I get 3 damage to the face. I think what I'm going to do is do this. And then I'm actually going to do this, because now I can get a 4 damage shot in. And the only thing she can do is kill this with a hero power. And then she only has 3 mana to play a minion. Alrighty. Now, 4 to 6. I think I'm going to...
It is very hard.
The temptation there would have been to go for the face instead of clearing the board, because it buffs these 2 side minions, but she would have almost certainly have cleared that on her turn. And if she didn't, it would have been foolish, because who knows what I could have played to make it impossible for her to clear that middle minion. Just popping the shield.
Tastingo! Yeah.
Alrighty. So what am I going to do? I think I'm going to silence that. So silence removes taunt, means I can get past it. And I'm actually going to break my rule about 4 minions on the board by giving this thing taunt. And I'm doing that because it's really unlikely at this level they've got something crazy like the Gnomish Inventor. Gnomish Mind Control tech. She's going to polymorph it, that's alright. He'll probably trade this into this, which is a good trade for him because he survives, but is he not going to do that? I mean, he doesn't survive for long, because I'm just going to run the sheep into it. That's weird. That was a mistake, of course. She should have killed one of my 1/1s with her hero power. She did not. So we're just going to do that. And then we're going to put this big guy out there. I feel much more comfortable putting him out now because she already deployed Polymorph. And Polymorph, of course, can be put on any minion. And so if you haven't seen one out yet, you're going to be hesitant to put out your big minions for fear that they're going to get polyed. It is unlikely that she has 2. It's not impossible. In fact, that's where the worst kinds of misconceptions come. You think they've only got 1 in their hand, and they really have 2. And that's where I usually start using swear words. But it's still playing the odds to think that they don't have it. So you can play your big minions out and then go for the face. I'm actually going to go straight for the face with all these guys because I actually have lethal, and I didn't do that. That's okay. It's always nice to stumble into lethal. Alright, so that's one more game. And I got a quest done. Does that give me enough gold to... Nope, still not enough. Alright. But that's enough for now. We'll do another one maybe next week sometime.